Hello. Right. Make sure you drop me a thumbs up or a hello when you get here. And I'll find the comments so that I can see who's here with me. Okay. Nobody yet. Okay. Hopefully there'll be some comments coming up in a minute. Let me just double check I'm doing that right. Ah, here we go. Hi, Bev. Are we all right? I've got to say I've thoroughly enjoyed Bev's live and Sam's live so far today. So this is I thought I've got my samples to show you. I can show you some of the papers and the stamps, and then I thought we'll do a journal page. So yeah, so perhaps wait until we've got a few more people join us. And then I'll show you my samples. In the meantime, here's the let's see if I can. Oh, there is a bit of a lag today, so you'll have to forgive me. Here's, I don't know if you can see all the papers there. Let's see if it comes on in a second. It's certainly not on my. Oh, here we go. Oh yes, you can just about see them all like that. Okay, so on the left, let's do this. We've got Moths and Peonies, we've got Autumn Portraits, and we've got the Moths. Okay, hi Maxine, hi Fiona. Yeah, so this is one of the Autumn Portraits, which I used, so this is the A5 one, so I took a section off here, section, and put section here, and then the middle bit is, I don't know if you can see that, that's the, I covered it in vintage photo ink and then stamped the peony print stamp in the middle there. So that's that one, and then I splattered it with some distress spritz. Okay. Hi Sam. Okay, so that's that one. This is, I've got a couple of cards next. So this one I just finished off this morning actually. So I white embossed the peony print stamp on watercolour paper, and then I used watercolours to colour it in, basically. Flooded it with water, made it very wet, and I'm surprised it's not still damp, to be honest. But yeah, that's that one. I'm hoping you can see most of this okay. I've seen cards done in this way and I wasn't sure it would work, but I was really pleased with how it did work, that one. Okay, so this is vintage style. So again, I used the peony print as a background, stamped it in vintage photo, and then coloured it with coloured pencils. Did a bit of smooshing with I think that was bundled sage and Victorian velvet inks, and then added a bit of lace down the sides, and then these three were coloured in with distress inks. And again, that distress spritz got sprayed on there, so it's nice and golden sparkly. Okay, so that's that one. this one is using the same paper that Sam used this morning, or at lunchtime, and basically I smooshed it with dried marigold and bundle sage again, and then added some extra colouring on it with colour pencils. I added a stamped moth at the bottom there with the sentiment and a bit of extra stamping around the edges, and then I don't know if you can you see the sparkle? Can you see that? So that's using the Jelly Roll pen, the sparkly one out of the Moonlight pack, and I just went round the stamens in the middle there, and so it sparkles a bit, and then I coloured these with colour pencils. Yeah, so nice and simple, and not a huge amount of work, that one. Okay, and then finally in here, so this is one of the A4 sheets of the autumn portraits, and I basically tore it diagonally in half, put some gesso on the background, used some paints, it was just a green and a pink paint through a stencil. I think that's the new one of the set 15 Dinkables. That one. If you can see that one. Yeah. And then added a bit of extra stamping here and there, and 3 of the moths. And then the words are some of the transparencies. Okay. Yeah, so I think I love these, but I thought today I'm going to do a journal page, and rather than go for my favourites, I thought I've stuck mainly with more colours that would go with a sort of vintage theme. So I wanted to do something a bit brighter, which I did this one, but I thought, listening to Bev talk about the papers and using a rainbow effect, I thought we'd go for that on this background, and then use that and stick it in and add some moths over the top. Okay, so this is one of the Moths and Peonies set of papers. So if I just show you those again. Oh, sorry, clarted the thing then, didn't I? So yeah, they're the autumn portraits, which are all gorgeous, and I'm definitely going to be using lots of those. And then these, I was intending using the moths, but then I thought, no, I'm going to go with some brighter colours. So it's one of this set, the Moths and Peonies. Okay. So I've just picked out some nice bright colours. So we've got lumberjack plaid, we've got mustard seed, peeled paint, and prize ribbon. So I'm going to just do some colours onto here. Oh, sorry. I hope I didn't wobble you too much then. Okay. So, as you can see, these papers are pretty good at taking the ink and blending brushes. And I've got 2 sets of blending brushes. I've got this sort and I've got this sort. These ones I tend to use with they're both equally good These ones I tend to use with my Distress Oxides. These ones I tend to use with the Distress Inks. So that's why I'm using these ones, because I'm just using ordinary Distress Ink. Okay. So next we'll have some mustard seed. Here we go. They do take the colour really well. I'm very, very pleased with how well they do it. I'm just looking at the widths of my stripes. I might need to add some purple on the bottom. But I mean, just look, isn't it? It's love it. Love it, love it. Okay, so onto the peeled paint next. I was going to go with the Twisted Citron, but I find I didn't want it to be too lightly yellow, so I thought we'd go a bit more green, a bit deeper. That one. I'm hoping that I haven't pinched Bev's idea for tonight now. I'm hoping she's not secretly cursing me, because she was thinking in terms of rainbows and earlier, and I wasn't. So I'm sorry, Bev. But I'm sure your rainbow would be different to my rainbow anyway. So. They're just so good. Right, excuse me for a second where I find my purple one. There we go. Oh, that's all right then. Phew. Plenty of people do, Sam. Plenty of people do. I've decided as I get older, I'm turning into Granny Weatherbacks. I don't know if you know Terry Pratchett's books or not, but I saw a quote the other day from Terry Pratchett, and it said, Granny Weatherback's advice was much like her soap. It stung a little, but it did the job. And I've decided that's me. Okay, that's looking, I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that, in fact. Right, I'm just going to wipe my glass mat a minute. There we go. So I'm going to put it into this book on the next page. So that's what it will look like when it's in there. But I'm going to go around the edge with a sponge, I think black. She says, I know I've got a black sponge here somewhere. It's not in there at the moment though. It must be out on the desk. There it is. I've got it. Yeah, so I've got sponges as well, and generally I use those with Distress Oxides. Ooh, excuse me. I might have to move something there. So I hope you've had a good look at the new products and decided what's going to find its home with you. They are all absolutely gorgeous, and it's like I just spend ages thinking, oh, they're my favourites, and then I think, no, they're not, they're my favourites, and yeah, they're all my favourites. I think there's nothing in there that I will not use over and over. I can see, just be prepared for lots of projects coming with these things on, because once they're on your desk, you know, yeah, won't be putting them away anytime soon. Right, then I think I have noticed I've still got the, please excuse the sound of things falling. This is what I'm looking for. So this is the Journaling Essentials 9, which is from the last lot of things that came out. Okay, and there's some really handy little worker stamps on here that I'm just going to stamp a few bits around the edge, and I think some in the same colour as I've got on there, and then maybe absolutely Fiona. Worse is almost the same as better. I like that. Right. So I'm just going to, I'm not even putting it on a block, look, I'm just adding some dotty bits on there, on my finger. And then where's the yellow? Some yellow next. And this is the like little hula hoops. It's not very obvious, that's not, but I can see it. Might actually go in with these dots as well, because it might show up a bit better with them being more solid. There we go. Right, we'll have some crosses in green. Okay. I'm going back to the little hula hoop ones for a blue. And then we'll have the little dots for the purple. There we go. So I think that's looking pretty. I'm pretty happy with that. That's all right. My sponging around the edge wasn't perfect, but it's okay. Doesn't bother me one bit. Right. Now then. that is going to get stuck into here, like that. And then we're going to add some moths. So the next thing I need to decide, I think this big moth, because I've not really used it much yet. I think the big moth ought to go in there really. I'm just wondering, maybe doing like a flag thing and popping them on? Don't know, what do we think? I think that would work. I was thinking to bring it down the page, but I don't know. I don't want to cover up too much. And I'll flag the bottom of it then. So what do we think? Shall I do it vertical or horizontal? And actually, whilst I think of it, I'm going to stamp this vertical. What I'm going to do, where's my, so I'm going to use the peony stamp, the peony print, and let's find the right size. Here we go. And I'm going to use Versamark. Okay. Just move that out of the way a minute. Okay, so you can't see that at the moment. I think I'm going to do it in clear ink powder. Sorry, excuse my squeaky drawer. Just to give it a bit of texture really. I thought it would be so it'll still be all black, but it'll just have some shiny bits on it. Hi Angela. There we go. So I'm sure you can see that now. And then what I'm going to do is just cut V. What's that? Right. So, I was just thinking, where's that moth gone? Right, and get some collage medium on this. Please excuse the noises that my collage medium is making. Just smooth it out a bit with my finger. There we go. Right, I'm taking it right up to the top of the page, so it just looks like it's hanging down. I'm just trying to decide if I'm happy with that, because I think my ink pad needed re-inking. I don't know. Should I stamp it again? I've got time, haven't I? Oh, actually, what's this one? Is that one any better? Oh, that one's a bit better. That one is better. Okay. And do we think that that is fine as it is, or does it need a bit of colour on it? What do we think? Whilst we decide on that, I'm looking for some words. I'm thinking beautiful might be a good one to pop across the bottom there. Fine as it is. That's good. Okay. We'll leave it as it is then. I mean, if you think, and I don't know about you, but I want to say faff about with journal pages for hours. But look how quickly that has come together. And that is completely from scratch. I think the only, well, obviously I stamped that and cut it out first. And the paper I trimmed the edge off. And the rest of it's all been done in about 20 minutes tops. Sorry, I'm just cutting round the word beautiful. I never know with these whether to cut them straight and use like a guillotine and cut them straight, or whether to like trim around the letters, but I think that's fine. And I'm just going to stick it across there with collage medium. Now this will probably affect the ink a bit underneath, but that's okay. As long as I don't mash it about too much, it should be fine. There we go. Something dark bottom left for balance. I'll tell you what we could do. Just mopping up the excess. Trying to think if I've got any. I was thinking maybe 3 gems or something like that down this edge. Oh, have I got some? I'll have some dark, what do you call it? Liquid pearls. Let's see what I've got. What colours I've got those? No, purple's about the darkest I've got, but what I can do is we can put in a little bit of ink for a stencil. This is one of the Dinkle set 15. It's the dotty one. There we go. I think that balances it out, doesn't it? And I just need to stick this lovely moth down. It's curling up a little bit at the minute. I think I need a clip on my page, or to put something heavy on it. I thought I had some more clips on the table, but it appears I haven't. Okay. Oh, thanks, Sandra. Yes, I'm sorry. The lag is such at the moment that I ask the question and then it seems like a 10-minute wait before any answers come up. So rather than stop and wait, I've just carried on regardless. Okay, so I'll stick him down. It's just hanging off the edge of the page, but that's okay because once it's shut, it won't protrude out of the edge of the cover, so that's fine. So there we go. I hope you've enjoyed that as much as I have. These papers are just fantastic. They're so easy to work with and so versatile. You know, I mean, the black and white ones particularly. I mean, if you look at the page that Sam did earlier and then the page that I did, that one, you wouldn't think it was the same piece, and yet it's the same piece of paper. And you can go in with your sparkly pens or your moonlight pens and add extra bits to it, and it's just, they're all gorgeous, absolutely fabulous. So thank you so much for joining me. Tonight Bev will be back on YouTube for Try It Out Tuesday, where she'll be having lots of fun with even more of the products that have been launched today. If you're looking for inspiration, there's plenty going to be added to very soon in the Be Crafty Stamps group. There's an album with all the creative teams samples there, and then there'll be all the team will be showing their samples as well on the Be Crafty what do you call it, blog. That's the word I was looking for. Okay, so thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you again next Wednesday. All right, thanks a lot. Bye.